I was living my dream life. I grew up wanting to be a zoologist, and after years of study, was able to get my PhD.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking. Kindly subscribe to this beautiful channel. So, in today's video, we'll be talking about untold stories of relationship, love, and life lessons. So, today we're going to be exploring a topic that both thought provoking and emotional, regretful wives. So, you guys, I put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back to share my true sense, what I think about today's video.
I was living my dream life. I grew up wanting to be a zoologist, and after years of study, was able to get my PhD and spend all my time working outdoors in South America, Asia, and in the Western US. I had adventures, and most importantly, the work I was doing benefited wildlife and the people who live alongside them. While doing this, I met a man who was so wonderful, doing all the things I was interested in, and after many years of long distance, we finally got married. I had wanted to be with him all the time so badly that I hadn't realized that moving to a normal life would be so hard. Because my job was one that required constant traveling, I am now unemployed to accommodate my husband's new position. We are living with my in laws to save up money for a house. The area we live in has no jobs in my field. My husband now wants many children after knowing my previous position that I would rather dedicate my life to causes I care about. What the fuck was I thinking? I was a scientist who was able to contribute to the world. I was independent and traveled and never saw this coming until after I signed the visa paperwork to move to his country. You may not understand how someone could be blindsided by their own choices, but I am proof that it can happen. Now I'm stuck. Do I divorce a wonderful, loving husband because this is not the life that I wanted? I made this choice because of all the ideas pushed on us growing up, especially women, that your life is more important than your career. But is this life? Is giving up your dreams living? I now believe that choosing to be alone and single would have been the better choice, but I still will not leave the person I love and will probably have his child. Yet, I am in mourning for the 10-year-old girl that got to live her dreams only to unknowingly crush them herself. My advice to young girls now would be to always stay true to yourself and not let down the 10-year-old girl who dreamed. Those who do not want to follow the normal path, please ignore the people who tell you you will change your mind about kids or marriage. Do what you feel is right, and please go and live your life to the fullest for me. I never wanted either growing up, and now I realize that that was my truest self, and that love can blind you to reality. I began dating my husband as a 17-year-old. He was such a savior for me. I didn't feel like I fit the mold my parents were creating for me, and he was a way to break free of it. He was freedom for me in so many ways. He had his own apartment in a different city. He was alternative with his style and the music he listened to. He opened my eyes to new things. We skateboarded together and he taught me how to drive a stick shift car. It was exciting, and for the first time, I felt like I had a way out from underneath my parents. The day after turning 18, I moved in with him. I centered my whole life around him. We instantly began talking about having kids young so we could live a better life later on and still be relatively young when our kids moved out. Just a couple of weeks prior to my 19th birthday, I found out I was pregnant. My parents' insurance would only cover me until 19 and wouldn't have covered any pregnancy-related care. I was left with what seemed like the only choice that made sense, becoming a wife. I wasn't upset by this. I really felt so much love for my then boyfriend. I couldn't imagine not moving forward with this next step. So just 6 weeks later, we were married. Being a new wife didn't seem like a big deal at first. We were just having fun. Honestly, I didn't get why anyone ever complained about being married. 4 months in, we became parents. My husband worked a lot. He had most months only 4 days off. So I was very much figuring it out on my own. This went on for a long time. When our son was around 1 or 2, my husband played video games in all his spare time. It took over his world. He stayed up really late playing with his buddies, and then he would sleep the whole day away. I have honestly blocked out a lot of the first few years of my oldest son's life because I wasn't happy. I couldn't understand where the happy little family that I thought I was going to have was. There are happy memories sprinkled in there, and he was by no means abusive, but I was basically doing it all alone. We had ups and downs, as all relationships do, but I never felt seen. I was doing so much, raising our son. I went back to school and I was working as much as I could, and I was met with the bare minimum in return. I was barely remembered on my birthday. On Mother's Day, only remembered by my children's teachers. And we basically never celebrated our own anniversary. I was just existing with this other person. I have felt so much guilt for wanting to just be alone. I know there have been times where, minus the extra money, it would have been mentally easy for me to be a single mom. We have two sons now, 13 and nearly 18, and have been married 18 years. I have gone a long time just feeling like a cog in the machine. At 25, I had a quarter life crisis and began talking to a therapist. I really thought this was going to change everything, but what it did was make me see everything. I started to realize I was my own person with dreams and goals and passions. I wanted to move and travel and try new things, much of which I felt was impossible. I realized after I had given my entire self to these three other humans that I never asked myself what I wanted. Not that I really knew that was an option. As women, we base much of what we do as moms and wives off of what our mothers and grandmothers have done. For me, that means work real hard and don't rock the boat. Put yourself on the back burner and try not to have too big of an opinion on things. Well, that's how it started for me, but that's not how it's going to end for me as a mom or wife. The last couple years have become easier in some ways. My husband has started to try harder in all realms of our relationship, and we have found more balance as parents and partners. I have learned how to speak up for my needs in our relationship, but I am leaving out so much pain and heartache from this. Feeling alone while you are in your home, or like you are invisible except when someone needs something, is not for the faint of heart. You give up so much of yourself to become a parent, and a bit more to become a wife. And when you don't wait to find out who you are to begin with, you risk never finding out. I am thankful that my husband has changed and has shown me effort and softness. He has really helped me heal, but I know this is because I fought for me. I am breaking the cycle.
So that's a video, guys. So I'm just here to share my true sense, like what I think about today's video. Okay. So it's like a sensitive topic, but we just have to talk about it. But it's something many women quietly experience in their marriages, whether it's regret about their choice of their partner, timing, sacrifices made, or even the vision of themselves they lost along the way. The stories are deeply personal, so yet surprising common. So let's start by breaking down why some wives feel regret. Marriage is often romanticized as the ultimate goal. Find your person and you live happily ever after. But the truth is, marriage is complex, late, and requires constant effort. Some women realize too late that they were not ready for marriage or didn't truly know their partner before tying a knot. And let's not forget society pressure. Many women marry because they feel they could not because they want to. I came across a story recently of a woman who admitted she got married at 25 because of her friends were getting hitched. She confessed that while she loved her husband, she wasn't in love with him. The subtitle, but significant difference, is where her regrets began. Another big lesson for regret is the sacrifice that comes with marriage. A lot of wives give up their dreams, careers, or even their independency to prioritize a family or partner. And while sacrifices sometimes necessary, they can lead to resentment over time. Imagine being 45 and realizing you have spent the last 20 years building someone else's dreams while yours were left untouched. That's a tough pill to swallow. It's even harder when you look around and see that your partner doesn't seem to have sacrificed as much or maybe has not appreciated what you gave up. Now let's talk about emotional regret. Some wives regret marrying because they feel emotionally unfulfilled. It's not uncommon for the spark to fade in a long term relationship, but when it's coupled with a lack of communication or effort, it leaves many women wondering, did I settle? One woman shared her story with me, said she had her husband stop dating her after they got married. It's like he thought I won the prize, no need to try anymore. She found herself missing the days when she felt wanted and pursued. Can you relate to that, ladies? And then there's the regret of lost identity. Many wives say they don't recognize who they become. They were once vibrant, independent, and full of dreams, but over the years, they have modeled themselves to fit their partner's world. I remember reading a quote that said, "Marriage is not about losing yourself, it's about finding yourself with someone else." But for some, it feels like they have lost themselves completely. Now, before we go any further, let's make something clear. Regret doesn't always mean a marriage is doomed. In fact, recognizing these feelings is often the first step toward making positive changes. If you're a wife or watching this and feeling regret, knowing that you're not alone, it's okay to admit these feelings. It doesn't make you a bad person or a failure. It makes you human. So, what can be done about regret? Is start with communication. Talk to your partner about how you feel. You might be surprised to learn that they have their own regrets too. Second, focus on you. Revisit the dreams you left behind. Rediscover your passion. Reclaim your identity. Marriage is a partnership, but doesn't mean you have to lose yourself in the process. Lastly, consider seeking professional help. Therapy is not just for failing marriages, it's a tool for understanding and growth. Sometimes having objective third party can unveil those complicated emotions. To all the wives out there who feel regret, whether it's fleeting, thought, or sometimes they wait on you every day, remember that it's never too late to rewrite your story. Marriage is a journey, not a destination. And like any journey, it's okay to pause, reflect, and change the direction if needed. Okay. So I came across a lot of women who were sharing their stories. Okay. So I remember this story from another woman. She said when she met her partner, the partner was just good and all that. So now she's feeling like she was being love bombed. Okay, this man love bombed her. So listen to what happened, ladies. So once they got married, I think the man got too comfortable. Like this is when he started mistreating her, stop giving her money, if she wants to try anything, like she's good at doing her things, like she's a makeup artist, he doesn't want her to do makeup. And I think men forget that also women, when you get married, you have your own dreams. For example, me, I have my own job. Like this is what I do, this is what I love, like, yeah. So when I was alone, I was doing it. The time I just come and say stop it, it don't make sense for me. I feel like, okay, yeah, as much as I love my job and I love you, I think the only thing I need from you is just support me. Support what I do. Just believe in it that one day it will make sense. I know myself. I know it. I know myself better, and it keeps so hurting. It hurts so bad if you don't get that support from people. Okay, and sometimes what happens is that you're trying so hard to make something for yourself, and someone just come tell you you're doing nothing. Imagine you're putting your all time, like all time. I'm putting my all recording, putting all the videos together, but someone is not saying anything. You get my point? That hits so bad. So it happens, but it needs to be you, because me, I believe in myself. I believe in myself, and I always tell myself I will do whatever I like. Okay, I do whatever I like, as long as I know it's something which is objective, something which is making sense, and something which is going um to help me in the future. And for me, I'm a housewife, of course. Yeah, so my job is making YouTube videos, of course. I work at home so that I have my money also in the bank. So I wouldn't just um be just waiting for someone to provide for me, as if I don't have hands or I don't have a brain or I didn't went to school. Yeah, so it's better I do something for myself, and um at the end of the month I have something, even if it's little, but it's something.